Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV. I hope you're well. I hope everybody's good. The morning or the day after, afternoon after, whatever you want to call it, after yesterday's defeat. But listen, people, I want to talk about Jadon Sancho. Please like the video, by the way. Comment down below what you guys think. It's all about opinion. Do we need to discuss Jadon Sancho? A player we bought for around 70 odd million. A player that we chased all summer in the summer of 2020, failed because of disputes with the payments and Borussia Dortmund wanting X amount and etc. etc. We then came in the next following season and we acquired our man, the man who was lighting up the Bundesliga. Whatever you think of the Bundesliga, he was lighting it up. He was tearing it up in the Champions League. He was doing it on a scale that was unprecedented. A player who was, getting past people, who was very, very quick on the ball, who was very, very agile, who was very, very 1v1 situations, burning defenders, had an immense link up with Haaland, and a player that was justified in the price tag. Let's not kid ourselves. The best talent in Europe, the best talent, you know what I mean? At that time, 21, you're thinking to yourself, you know what? Give me some of that. He was linked with Barcelona. He was linked with top clubs in Europe. Manchester United came in and justifiably, we were all happy. But it's not worked out. Whether you like it or not, listen, I'm a big Jadon Sancho fan, and I hope it does work well for him. But I've got to have an honest opinion here and say, is it going to work? Because I'm just looking at him thinking to myself, the more I watch him, the more I think the manager, the way he's using him, and then this might be criticism on the manager. It might be criticism on Jadon Sancho. Whoever it is, I'm seeing both sides of the story, but I'm looking at him, I'm thinking to myself, he doesn't start games. And I think for him, he's a rhythm player. He's a player that needs to be, playing games. He needs to be getting a feel of the ball. He needs to be, in and amongst it, linking up teams. He's a confidence player. You need that sort of player. He's not a player that comes off the bench like a Garnacho, impact player, young player, impact, can get you an assist, can get you a goal. He can do that, but it's not his game. He's a game who likes to have rhythm. He's a guy who likes to get involved in a game, whether he's playing at the back. If he was a fullback and if he was a forward, he's a player that just likes to get in amongst it. And I think ultimately, he come on yesterday. He didn't really have much of an impact. He came on against Betis. Didn't really have much of an impact. And I'm just looking at him thinking, are we not using him, or is he just not fitting a system? Does he not fit the profile of what the Premier League is? The Premier League is physical. It's demanding. It's PMP. It's pace. It's power. It's explosive. Does he have them qualities? Is the Premier League getting by him now? Is it becoming a bit too much? I hope I'm wrong, because I hope that he can kick on towards the end of the season. But we're in April. We are in April. And I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking, Ten Hag is not going to start him every game. He's going to pick Anthony. He's going to pick Martial when he's fit and ready. Weghorst is a given. You all know that. Rashford on the left. And when Garnacho comes back, whether you like it or not, he's ahead of him as well. Garnacho's ahead of Sancho, as in who comes on. He is. And today we're hearing reports that Ten Hag is becoming increasingly impatient with Jadon Sancho. And that is coming from Manchester United's chief reporter. I'm not going to say his name because I think he's a prick, but you all know who it is. But these guys get things and they get feels from the club and whatnot. But if he's getting increasingly impatient with Jadon Sancho, then that tells you all a lot. And I think for me, am I being harsh to have this video, to have this conversation? Let me know in the comments. Because I always say to myself, people never want to have that conversation because it's one of their favorites or it's one of their, but you do need to have a conversation. You do need to, talk about it. And this is no bashing Jadon Sancho. I think he's a very good player. But is he a very good player for Man United? And you know what? I'm going to give him some excuses. I'm going to give him some slack. He's never played with a real striker before. Martial's always been injured. He has gone through this period of what was called, I want to say unrest, but he went through some trouble. Ten Hag took him away. We don't know the full story. You know, we heard, or we assumed a lot of things that happened. You know, I think maybe in his family someone may have passed away, because I remember him putting a story out there on social media about someone in his family, a relative, and then his social media went black. He went away, he went missing, he didn't really come back. So I look at that and I think Ten Hag's took him away, said, right, regroup, refocus. But I'll be honest with you, man. I seen it in bursts. I thought to myself, oh, he looks confident here. He looks on the ball. He looks like he's ready. But now it's almost gone back to maybe his old ways of, yeah, he's not really giving it us. And this is a player that's still only 23. He's still young. We're talking about a guy he's not even reached his peak yet. He's not reached his where he needs to be. You know, we're talking about a player that, but then again, people could argue, well, show me now. Show me what you've got now, because time, time moves quickly. And I'm not trying to compare it to Dele Alli. I'm not trying to do that. But you've seen the famous video from Mourinho. One day you're 22, the next day you're 58. That's what Mourinho says. So time is not on your side, Jadon Sancho. You've got to give me something. I need something, Jadon Sancho. I need you to give me a run of games. I need Ten Hag to give him a run of games. That's where it's getting to now. Ten Hag, you've got to give him a run of games. Because then the fan base can be like, you know what? He's been given 2 or 3 games starting and he ain't good enough. But this is why the Premier League is ruthless. This is why a manager's role can be ruthless. It's results based. You don't have time to rest. You don't have time to wait around. And this is the problem that Ten Hag's getting, is that he doesn't have time to give players chances. He doesn't have time to say, you know what, I can give you so-and-so. I can give you some time to kind of bring your form in. He's like, I got to get top 4. I got to win trophies. If you're a squad player, then you're a squad player. You know what I mean? I didn't buy you. That's one thing United fans have got to realise. Ten Hag didn't buy Jadon Sancho. So it might have been an expensive mistake for the Glazers, but what hasn't been? What hasn't been an expensive mistake from the Glazers? So in their eyes, they're going to be like, you know what? Well, that's what we've done before anyway. And they're probably going in the summer anyway. So again, it's not them for them to deal with. It's Sheikh Jassim or it's Jim Radcliffe for them to deal with. So then they'll be like, you know what? Well, if you want to sell him, then we can sell him. We'll find arrangements. He probably ends up going back to Dortmund. Maybe he doesn't suit this league. And we were talking about in the group chats, big up to Tyrone, but he was saying, it might not suit the league and it might not suit what's going on. There's been successful or good wingers that have come to this football club and failed. There's been good players that have failed. Sanchez, he was at the peak of his powers, unbelievable at Arsenal. Came to Man United and flopped. It can happen, It can happen. So for people to think, you know what, it must happen. Why is it going wrong? Listen, you can openly admit it can go wrong, and that is the worry for me. And I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a case of, analyzing where it goes here this season. I think for me, ultimately, he will be given to the end of the season because, of course, we're not going to sell him now. But that's where it gets sticky. You know what I mean? If he is going to give in to the end of the season and then Ten Hag says, you know what? I don't think you fit my plans. I don't think you fit what I do. Right now, Ten Hag's saying all the good things about players because, again, you don't bash players in public, do you? Behind the scenes, you know what I mean? There will be reports of maybe him getting a bit growingly frustrated. He will be. Because at the end of the day, his job is under scrutiny. And he needs players to start firing because Rashford is the only player that's firing at the minute for United. He's getting the goals. Everyone else is not stepping up, man. And that's where the issue is. That is where the issue is. But let me know in the comments below, man. Am I overreacting? Am I overreacting? You know what I mean? Should we give him time? Or is it time to go? Let me know I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What's wrong with Jadon Sancho and what's going right and what does he need to work on? And is there still time for him to turn it around? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon, guys. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.